Welcome, my name is Lynx, we're playing Sakura Succubus 10. And I feel like that might have been very loud. Sorry. Let us continue. Hiroki is going on a walk of some sort. Exit the bedroom. Pad out into the hallway. And go. The hallway has a high ceiling. And my footsteps echo as my soles strike against the floor. Then maybe walk quieter. It's dark beyond the windows, and the hallway is illuminated by various candles flickering in sconces on the walls. Candles? Where are... or more like, are those candles you're talking about in the room? There's something a little eerie about it, and the sumptuous purple furnishings don't make things any less oppressive. I make my way over to the throne room, feeling a little out of sorts. I have nothing to do here except relax, but I still find myself wondering about the future. What will happen when I wed Yue? What will happen when I wed the others? Well, I guess I can worry about that when it actually happens. I approach the throne room, then pause by the door. I mean to step inside to greet Yue, but...
Milady, you've been working so hard lately.
It looks like Yue is otherwise occupied. I can see her sitting on the throne as per usual, resting her chin upon her palm, but she isn't alone. Hazel is with Yue, but Hazel isn't standing in front of her, as one might expect. Expect. Instead, she's kneeling on the carpeted ground at Yue's feet. Hazel surveys Yue with the adoration of an acolyte. She holds one hand to her chest, her green eyes upturned as she says,
You've been bearing up with a lot of grace and dignity, but of course you have everything that is graceful and dignified. Sometimes think you're dignity and grace personified. You're the most beautiful woman there ever was and ever will be. You're amazing, Lady Yue.
Any other person might turn red upon receiving so many compliments. Hazel's being pretty forceful, but Yue doesn't even bat an eyelid. She's acting like being bequeathed with compliments is her birthright. And I guess since she's the queen of the Succubus realm, it quite literally is. Putting aside the fact that Hifumi should have been the queen, of course, but you know the details. If you don't, check out the previous games. Yue looks down at Hazel, her expression disinterested, and says,
Well, of course I am. I'm very aware of that fact. You hardly need to tell me things I already know. Of course, milady. Please forgive me for my insults. I should have known full well that you would already be aware of how wonderful you are. As your humble servant, I feel ashamed at how I've been acting. So can I make it up to you?
And how do you intend to do that exactly?
I was thinking about giving you a foot massage.
Massage?
Yes, since I'm not lead and all, and I'm only in my feet a lot, I tend to get muscle cramps. I've gotten pretty good at giving myself massages to work out all of the kinks. But it feels even better when somebody else gives me a massage, especially when it comes to my feet. I'm not a huge foot liker myself.
Well, that's good to know.
But having my aging soles and arches massage feels really nice. It always helps relieve my tension. Do you want me to give it a go, Lady Yue? I'm no professional, but I'm sure I'll be able to do a decent job. And I think you deserve it. You work so hard, you deserve a bit of a break. If you don't get a bit of R&R, every once in a while you'll build up too much stress, and then you'll feel even worse. As your humble subject, will you let me serve you?
Yue frowns as she ponders this, her lips pressed together.
Well, it's not like my feet are in a particular pain. I don't walk around very much. Most of the time I remain seated upon this throne. I'm unsure whether it will be necessary intervention. But I suppose it might feel nice, if you promise to be careful.
Wasn't... okay, I need to look into my saved up CGs, because as you know, I'm a sucker for CGs, and I basically, from every game I played, maybe not from every game I played, but from a lot of the games I played, I have the CGs saved up. So I have actually 391 folders. I think there might have been a CG of Hazel giving a massage to Yue before. So I'm totally going to check quickly right at this. Yes, I was correct. Yep, Hazel was giving a massage to Yue in the past. In Sakura Succubus 3. See, I might not remember a lot, but sometimes I do have a glimpse into the past in my mind and boom! I remember something. Anyway.
Course I will. I'm always careful, especially when it comes to you, milady. Have my massages ever led you wrong before? Well, no, I suppose not. You have done quite a good job working out my stress before. You've never once pressed too hard, and you've not hurt me either. I suppose I can trust you on this. If you promise you won't touch anywhere you shouldn't. I won't, milady. I promise. I treat you nice and gentle.
Hazel grins, then shuffles forwards.
Do you mind if I start? No, I already gave you permission. Please go right ahead. I'll offer myself up to your capable hands.
Man, I low-key wish I actually bought more than one energy drink now. But well, if you're around often or not often, you probably know I'm not like drinking those addictively. Once in a while. But yeah, I kinda wish I had second one now. At least I have juice. Anywho.
Alright, this will be a blast. Thanks for the food. Itadakima.
Food? I mean, yeah. I mean, it depends. If she's going for the food, then no. But yeah, anyway, you raises an eyebrow.
I was unaware that there was any food involved in this. Unless you mean to lick my soles or bite my toes.
Yeah, no.
Well, that doesn't exactly sound unappealing. What? I beg your pardon? I'll be careful, I promise, hey? Now, let me see.
Okay. Alright, Hazel, I mean, I'm not going to I will judge you for. Who the heck is interested in feet? What is wrong with you? Hazel slides Yue's golden heels off her feet, watching with an impish smile as Yue sighs. Then she introduces her digits to Yue's right foot. I watch, concealed in the shadows by the entrance, as Hazel starts to work on Yue's foot. On one of them. Her fingers dig into her arch, and then she starts to rub. She presses down, using just enough pressure so that Yue can feel it. And Yue does that sound, because that definitely was not a moan, her eyelids falling shut. Hazel hasn't been at this for very long, but Yue is already turning to putty in her hands. It looks like Yue is enjoying the attention, and it sounds like she's enjoying it too. If she wasn't, I doubt she'd be moaning like that.
How is that, milady? How is that, milady? Are you enjoying it? Oh, it is quiet good, I suppose. Quiet good, hey?
Hazel's smile widens.
Oh, that must mean I'm doing a good job. I'll take it. Hey, I'm glad my hard works, bingo, but I've only just gotten started. I'm not applying nearly enough pressure. How about this?
Hazel shifts her hands up Yue's foot, then presses both her thumbs against the flat of Yue's foot. She works her fingers like a child might play with a clay, as if she means to reshape Yue's soul and Yue's size.
Oh, yeah, it does feel rather nice. I'm glad to hear it. Just let me know if I'm pressing too hard. I don't want to hurt you. I've been feeling so keyed up lately. I don't mind too much if you did. A bit of pain would at least take my mind off everything else which has been wafting up on me. Oh, Lady Yue, have you been that stressed out?
I mean, to be fair, she has to run the entire Succubus realm, so... not surprised? Not surprised. For, I would say, people who are running my country are not stressed about stuff enough at all. I think they should be more stressed. Clearly, there is not enough pressure on them. And very importantly, maybe they should stop bending over to USA.
I've been somewhat overworked as of late. I suppose my duties as the queen of the Succubus realm are numerous, even if I do have several dedicated aides to help me.
Which makes me wonder, how come we've never really been sort of properly introduced to any of the people, any other people in the Succubus realm at all? Maybe it's because UE doesn't allow anyone near Hiroki basically anymore. Anyway.
There is only so much work I can delegate to others, however.
Yeah, I understand that one. I mean, I would have a problem of not being able to delegating anything myself. I feel like... I mean... I don't know, maybe it's because whenever there was a project I would end up doing stuff anyway on my own, because you can't count on anyone basically, or couldn't count on anyone. But basically, when it comes to stuff, I just am a one-man army. And I deal with stuff on my own. Kind of. Anyway.
And now I have the situation with Hiroki to worry about too. It really is quite the pickle. I fear I've been pushed rather hard. But I will not relent. I will continue to do my best. As per usual. Well, of course you will. You're really impressive, Lady Yue. That's why I love you so much. You always have a lot to do, but you never let it get the better of you. You keep doing as best as you can, with as straight a face as possible. I think that's wonderful. Do you really? Yeah, you're amazing. My precious Lady Yue, hey?
Hazel, she continues to work. She kneads US food between her fingers and thumbs while US eyes practically seeming to melt before my eyes. Her face is rather red and her eyes are looking a touch misty. It seems like she's enjoying the foot massage a bit too much. I don't know, maybe it's that good. I couldn't tell you. Yue, are you willing to let Hazel get Hazel rented for that? I'm curious now. At the same time, I would not want anyone to massage my feet, to be honest. I would say my feet are a complete mess. One thing being the fact that like I basically used to train football when I was younger, from the age of whatever 7 up to an age of 16 or something like that. And after that I had, well, quit it, sadly. I totally, you know, at the time I absolutely started to hate football because of the people in the club. But I totally, you know, from perspective at time, totally regret quitting in general. But, well, whatevs. Now it's kinda too late for that anyway. But, you know, I had a break, then I started running, then, you know, running. At some point, retail came into view as well, sadly, as work, sadly. On the other hand, good experience. I would say everyone should get into retail for at least a little bit. But yeah, because of retail, I also stopped working, stopped running. But after I managed to escape retail, Back to running again. Yeah, my feet are a mess. Well, and also my Achilles now, I guess. Anywho. I'm glad Yue is enjoying herself, but maybe I shouldn't be watching this. I've hung around for long enough already. I feel like I should leave. And that's exactly what I will do. But maybe I should stick around. Who knows, man? Maybe I should stick around.
How's this, milady? Is it good?
Oh, if you touch me there, then I...
Yes, what will you do exactly?
I don't know.
It feels really good for...
And funny.
Maybe it's too good. I feel like I'm melting.
Again, foot massage, as you can see. But maybe it's alright if I stick around a little longer myself. Surely peeking for a few minutes more won't hurt, right? Hiroki, what is wrong if you just enter the room? Those are your two future wives. What are you doing? Right? Just enter, man. What a dude. Like, gee, what a day. Or is it really a night? The sun never rises in this place, so it's hard to tell. I wonder. You know what? I probably said that before, but of all the places we've been throughout, you know, all the Sakura games, or Sakura Succubus games, the one where I would want to basically live would be Ayu's summer house. Again, it's because it's by the sea or by the ocean. Well, same thing really, but you know, basically a place by the water. Jesus Christ. I dream, I feel like through my old life, to have a house by some kind of water. That would be so nice. Anyway, I've been feeling tired ever since I came to the Succubus realm. I mean, you've been tired even before that, but whatevs. Maybe that's to be expected, given I was summoned here so suddenly to discuss something so sensitive. I guess any guy would feel tired if he was dragged from his average apartment on the outskirts of Tokyo to an entirely different plane of existence populated entirely by the scantily clad Succubi. I don't know, man. I feel like I would be completely revitalized. I mean, if you dragged me out of a very average apartment on in the town that I live in, you don't need to know the details of that, to a Succubus realm, which is like the one over here, then sign me up. And I'm not even saying I need 15 Succubuses or Succubi. Dude, if one Succubi would be interested, I'm in. As long as if it's like wink cloud-like Succubi, of course. Anyway, it's all a lot to take in. Actually, you know what? Elizabeth is not into Hiroki, so if Elizabeth would be interested... Anyway, Succubi have been an important part of my life for well over a year. It's been much longer than that. I mean, for him, maybe it's only been a year. If you think about it. When was the first game released? Sakura Succubus 1. In 2020, in March. Dude, we are getting those games for 6 years basically now. That's nuts. I like those games for... I know people might not be into Wing Cloud games and so on. I like them. Those truly are like basically like kick back, relax, read a little bit. I think I'm a lot into this type. I know, maybe is it because life sucks? Maybe. Anyway, Succubus have been an important part of my life for a well over a year, but sometimes it all feels so blatantly ridiculous I have to wonder whether I've not gone insane. I mean, me? Have a harem? Why? I'm not anything all that special. That's what I say about myself as well. Or at least I don't think I am. I'm quite an average guy, as it happens. Maybe slightly above average, okay? But I guess Yue doesn't think that way. Neither does Marina, Cosmos, Hazel, Hifumi. How did I manage to go back? I was not clicking anything. I know. I guess you could also mention Ayu, Alice. Speaking of which, more like speaking of who. Oh, hello. I came into the courtyard to get a breath of fresh air. Again, but I'm not alone. Again. And I'm not complaining. Hifumi's out here already, examining the flowers, for she turns to look at me when I address her. I smile then say, "Fancy seeing you here. Are you taking a stroll too?"
That was the idea, yes. Hello, stranger. It's good to see you. If it's us, for we haven't had much of an opportunity to talk during the last few days.
Yeah. I know. I've been pretty occupied. Have you for? No, you have. It's if anyone, it's the girls that have been occupied. But whatever. My presence has been wanted.
By you, I take it.
How did you know? I smile wryly, well aware of it. As Yue's cousin, Hifumi probably knows more about Yue and her foibles than any of the other Succubus.
She hasn't been too demanding, has she?
It could be worse, I guess. She was a lot more demanding when she hauled me to the Succubus Rian the first time. In fact, she was kinda scary. Things should be alright now, for I'm sure she'll let me leave when she's worked out the particulars of my relationship and how our wedding will go. She just needs a bit of time first, for.
I imagined that was the case, yes. I'm glad to know that she's not making too many demands, for I do feel somewhat guilty about all of this. If I had never proposed to you, you never would have had cause to be jealous. And she never would have brought you to the Succubus realm against your will.
I mean, I wouldn't say she brought you against the will. I mean, she did it once, but it was a long time ago. Anywho.
Or the rest of us fellow Succubi, for that matter. I apologize if I have made things difficult for you.
Hifumi presses her hands against her thighs and offers me a bow, dipping her head deeply so her dark tresses flutter in the breeze. She looks so contrite, it's hard for me to be annoyed at her, for I feel like I have a right to be so. She's right after all, she has caused a lot of problems for me. She's the catalyst behind the wild events of the last few days. If only she hadn't proposed, none of this would be happening.
Shut up!
But by the same token, it's probably my fault for accepting her proposal in the first place. No! The problem is, you've been hiding the fact from the others. God damn it. If I really had an issue, I should have shot her down. No. I'm not shooting Hifumi down. I'm also blamed here, so I can't pin all of the wrongdoing on Hifumi. That would be fair. It's alright, you've caused a few issues. No, she didn't, but I'm sure you had your reasons for it. I doubt you did solely for the sake of sowing chaos. You aren't that sort of person.
Heh. Well, thank you for trusting me, my dear. I'm glad that you realized that. I would understand full well if you were if you were upset with me or angry, for my actions have caused many problems. But you are indeed right. I only did what I did because I felt I had no choice.
No choice? That's curious. I wonder why. Why did you feel it like that, Hifumi?
It is rather complicated, but, well... To describe it in terms which I hope are easy to parse. I felt like things had become stale.
Stale?
Yes, indeed. I felt that we were all too worried about trying to deepen our relationship with you, Hiroki, for fear of stepping on one another's toes. None of us wished to push things too far, so we began to tread water instead. Everything remained the same. There was no progress at all, beyond your charms earning you the affections of a few more women, I suppose.
Lightly, Hifumi laughs.
I cannot take any issue with that, of course, and neither am I jealous. You're an attractive man, and I'm glad that so many other women have realized that. You deserve to be adored by as many women as possible, and I consider myself privileged to be amongst them. I was happy too, with this arrangement for quite some time. I love you so much, Hiroki. I was content simply to be with you, and to spend time with you, for I couldn't spend as much time with you as I desired given my work. Still, I was pleased enough. The time passed, and I enjoyed every moment of it I was able to spend by your side. But lately, I've begun to feel like this is not enough. I want to love you in a new, exciting way. A way in which a wife can only love her husband. And if I'm being honest, I'm not getting any younger.
You look plenty young.
I'm the oldest member of your harem, and I have dreamed of being married ever since I was a young girl.
So I heard.
I want to fulfill my dream while I'm still in my prime, so I can have the fairy-tale wedding I always envisioned. I do not think, of course, that waiting would dampen our bond, and neither would it make our wedding any less special. But I am an impatient woman, despite my elegant bearing, and I simply cannot bear to keep on waiting. I love you so much that each day that passes while I'm not yet your wife feels like a waste. I wish to always be there for you, Hiroki, so that I might soothe you when you need it. I want to be the one to make you breakfast, and to welcome you back home from work, and to draw your baths when you are weary at night. I wish for you to turn to me during your moments of weakness, so that I might nurse you back to health. I wish to be your rock, your stone-chest, most steadfast ally. And to do that, I wish to be your wife. There is nothing else in the world I want more than that. But I also want my fellow Succubi to be able to deepen their relationship with you too. I want us all to be happy, and I fear that would have been impossible to accomplish if we continued to put off the question of your future. That is why I acted rashly, for it might seem contrary to my nature. My reasons might be somewhat convoluted, and they are certainly selfish. But having thought all of that, I do hope you understand where I'm coming from. Do my reasons make sense to you, Hiroki? You don't think I'm horribly self-absorbed, do you? I know it might appear like that, but I swear I really was acting with everybody's best interest at heart. I was just trying to do what needs to be done, so we can all secure the happy future we desire with you.
Hifumi? I look at her for a few moments, stunned into momentary silence. After that little speech, it's hard to know what to say. Part of me did wonder briefly if Hifumi was simply causing problems for the sake of it. No, she was not. But I know Hifumi after all of this time, at least I'd like to think I do. And I never truly believed that she'd behave in such a thoughtless, flippant manner. She's done nothing wrong. Hifumi is a kind, considerate person. She cares about others truly and genuinely. That's why she became Stefania's Karuta teacher. That's why she looked after Alice when we went to Astoria. And of course, I'm going to mention Alice because we still haven't seen her. I miss her. If Hifumi didn't care about people, she never would have taken Alice under her wing when she was feeling confused during her last trip to Astoria. I know that Hifumi doesn't act on impulses. I mean, she does sometimes, but it's not impulses that cause problems. She carefully considers what effects her behavior will have on other people. I should have realized that Hifumi would have a reason for proposing to me so suddenly. She didn't do it on a whim. As always, she was thinking about her fellow Succubi. And she was thinking about me too. This realization makes my stomach swell with warmth. I smile at her and say, I was still confused about all of this at first, admittedly, but now I get it. I know that you want the best for me. And you want the best for everybody else too. It makes sense that you try and push things forward a bit when we've been at a stalemate for so long. You know what? I'll be honest with you, I think they might have that feeling of stalemate again. Sure, you have that when dating and so on, right? But I feel like for them it might be stalemate again because he's one and there is multiple of them. I don't know, man, I feel like it's easier to get into stalemate in this situation than if you are like in a normal one-on-one relationship. And maybe it's easier to like overcome that stalemate in such a situation. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. It depends on the people as well. It's thanks to you that my relationship with you was able to make a bit more progress too. And it's probably because of you that the others became more honest about their feelings too. It really has been a help.
My.
Hifumi smiles abashedly. She's still maintaining her composure. Hifumi is nearly always composed, but I can see a faint blush spreading across her cheeks. She rests the palm of her hand to her face, cupping it, and says lightly,
I thought you would forgive me, Hiroki, but not even I anticipated you would be so very understanding. I fear you are being kinder to me than I deserve.
Nonsense! I think you deserve me to be kind to you, and then some. You're very precious to me, after all. I mean, I smile and taking Hifumi's hands in my own and say, I do love you.
Hiroki.
She blinks. She smiles, her cherry blossom pink lips curving upwards gracefully and says,
Thank you. And I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm glad that you understand my reasoning, warped through it might seem. And I do hope once the dust has settled, we'll all be able to be a little bit more honest with our feelings. That way, nobody will need to hide anything from anybody else or hide from anybody else in general. Then, we'll all be happy and none of us will need to argue over you. Does that not sound wonderful?
I think it sounds a little too wonderful to be true, actually. Even is starting to talk a little like a cult leader.
What?
And it doesn't really help that her voice is so melodic or so incredibly reasonable. But I think her actions are based in common sense. She's working for the greater good. How could I not appreciate her for that?
I mean to tell her that.
I think she deserves to know how much I appreciate her, but...
Hey, for me, you really are amazing. I don't understand what you're applying, so I was a bit skeptical, but you've really turned my opinion of you around. I thought you were trying to steal Hiroki from us, but I should have known that you'd never do that.
Who's saying that?
You're kind. You're just like big sister. You're the big sister I never had, but I always wanted. How can one woman be so wonderful? Yeah!
Hey?
Oh.
Hifumi gasps, one that her eyes widening in surprise. Yes! Alice! Let's go, man! I mean, girl. It's been a while, girl. Welcome back! As quiet out of the blue, the very dark blue, given it's perpetually nighttime in the Succubus realm, a shape dives forwards and pulls Hifumi into a hug. It's been so long. Technically since the last game. It's her first appearance in the 10th installment. As quiet out of the blue, The shape has very pale skin, long hair, and slender limbs. Her arms are entwined tightly around Hifumi's middle, and the wings which protrude from her back flutter. Her tail, meanwhile, is twitching in excitement, maybe. She moved so quickly as she dove towards Hifumi. She was little more than a blur. It was hard for me to get a good look at her. I don't know why he's saying them and them and them. That doesn't make any sense. Now she's come to a halt, however, I recognize her. I recognize her very well, in fact. This is none other than... Alice?
Yes, that's me. I'm glad you still remember my name. I see I'm not completely forgettable. Or at least I hope I'm not. Is there a problem with me being here?
Alice peers at me curiously, her arms still entwined around Hifumi's middle.
You look startled.
Well, yeah, I feel startled. Talk about unexpected. I didn't think I'd see Alice around here, or around in general for that matter. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks, which is funny given she was so clingy at the beginning. She's since gotten a little less so, however, with the passage of time, I think she's been too busy focusing on her job to do much else. The last I heard, she was taking part in a series of extensive on-location photo shoots for a new fashion collection. I wonder what she's doing here. How long have you been in the Succubus realm?
A couple of days.
What? Really? That's strange. I don't recall seeing her at all. If she was here for a couple of days, wouldn't I have noticed her? Don't tell me. The newest member of my ever-expanding harem is turning into a background character, is she? How dare they? I mean, the writers of this story. That would be so sad.
Yes, really. Lady Yue summoned me here so I could participate in all of these talks about your upcoming marriage. She said it was very important that every succubus who was part of your harem was present, so we could have a further discussion about what we'll do. I've been sitting in every single meeting we've had about the matter. Don't you remember seeing me?
Well, gee, talk about awkward.
Hey, Hiroki. Does my presence really have that little of an impact? Am I that easy to overlook?
No, of course not. You have a really strong presence, Alice. It's impossible to forget you.
Do you really mean that?
Yeah, I mean, you made your debut in my harem by kidnapping Stefania. That's the sort of thing a guy doesn't forget. You made a very strong first impression. Even if it wasn't necessarily your best. Yeah, who cares? It was great. I don't think Alice's introduction to my life was entirely positive, but Alice doesn't seem to appreciate these nuances or even realize them. She started to smile, albeit hesitantly.
Oh yeah, that is right, isn't it? I made quite the entrance, if I do say so myself. There's no way to forget me after all of that.
Of course there's not. You're worrying about nothing.
I know. I'm afraid it's a bad habit of mine. I get afraid that my other succubus sisters overshadow me because their personalities are stronger and they're prettier.
Let's not go that far.
But maybe I work myself up over nothing. You're a fine dear. I think you're rather pretty, even if you do not seem to realize the fact. You have a lovely face and a lovely figure too.
So true.
Isn't that right, Hiroki?
Of course! You're practically top-notch. I'm trying to be soothing, but the moment the words leave my mouth, I twinge. Top-notch? What is this? Am I talking about sexy succubus in a skin-tight outfit or a fridge? I feel like that's the sort of lukewarm praise a person will bestow upon common kitchen appliance, not a succubus. But Alice doesn't seem to notice the distinction because she's beaming.
Thank you, Hifumi. Hiroki, you're both very kind. I feel a little better already. As you should. You've always been too hard on yourself, you poor dear. I think your confidence has improved somewhat since you become a model, but you still have a way to go. There is nothing wrong with having faith in yourself. The more you respect yourself, the more other people will respect you in turn. You just need to try and internalize that. Right, I'll do my best. As will I.
Hifumi smiles elegantly, cupping her cheek with one hand.
I too am striving to live a life true to myself and to my own desires. I don't wish to suppress them if it will make other people comfortable. I'm hoping if I can continue to be upfront with my own desires, then I'll be able to achieve true contentness. But I'm not a selfish woman. Not wholly, at least. I wish for all of my fellow Succubus sister to be happy. You too, Alice. I want us all to find our own joy, and I want us to find it with you, Hiroki. I believe that will resolve all of our problems. Heh? Oh, Hifumi, you're so wise. And you're so nice and kind too. You're really amazing. Oh, I don't know about that. I feel I can be quite selfish. But I'm doing my best to ensure we can all get what we want. Your happiness is important to me too, dear Alice. I know, I can tell. That's why I like you so much. I was bullied a lot when I was younger, because I was so awkward. I nearly fit in with the rest of the Succubi, but you've always been so understanding. You're almost as nice as like you. Oh, well, I do try. Thank you for the vote of confidence, my dear Alice. You have cheered me, although...
Hifumi takes a step backwards towards me. Her voice drops to a whisper, one that's low and sultry.
I would like to cheer you up too, Hiroki.
Yeah? What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, one does not want to spoil the surprise, but...
Hifumi smiles coquettishly, her dark eyelashes trembling.
You and I have been discussing our marriage prospects since we both came to the Succubus realm, and we are both taking this quite seriously. We are taking this so seriously, in fact, that we have picked out our wedding dresses already.
I'm not even surprised.
Which is what I want to inform you of when first our paths crossed.
Wedding dress. I look at Hifumi, wide-eyed. My face flushed. I'm a bit worried this query will alert Alice's attention, but she seems to be off in La La Land. I think she's still trying to process the kind words Hifumi said to her because she's not paying us a blind bit of attention. She's blending to the background again, just like... well, just like a supporting character. Poor Alice. I will have her in my heart still.
Yes, that's right. I think they are quite charming, as far as wedding dresses go. I know it is considered bad luck for a groom to see his bride, or brides in this case, in her wedding apparel before the wedding. But would you like to take a look at the gowns you and I have procured? We labored so long and hard over them, it would seem a waste not to show you them. You'll be our future husband after all, so we are very, very interested in hearing your opinion. My beloved Hiroki.
Well... yes... but we'll leave it for tomorrow. Yeah, I actually want to end the episode right here and... go on a walk with my doggo. Doggo, wanna go on a walk? Not like he would understand what I just said. Considering, well, normally I say that obviously in my language, which is Polish. But at the same time, who knows? Maybe the intonation will be similar, and that's what he will get. But yeah, we'll have a look at the dresses tomorrow. And who knows? Maybe tomorrow we will be getting to the last episode of Sakura Succubus 10. Who knows? Because I don't. I do not yet. But yes, as always, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking it. If you're new around, consider subscribing. Always super appreciated if you do. And yeah, if you do subscribe, if you somehow run into a succubus, you are more likely to be liked by one. That's right. Alright, tomorrow we'll have the next video. Hope to see you there. And, very importantly, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.